Hey, what's up everyone? This is Music Tech Help Guy, and today we're doing a full unboxing and review of the brand new Connect 2 audio interface from Lewitt Audio. This is a 2-channel USB-C audio interface, although you are limited to just one mic input and one instrument level input. So while you're not going to be making any stereo recordings with this thing, if you're a beginner or you just need to record vocals and maybe a guitar or bass here and there, the Connect 2 is a great option, and it's extremely affordable at only $199 USD. It has a really helpful auto setup feature that walks you through the entire process of setting up your microphone or DI instrument. It's not like Ozone where it automatically comes up with a preset for you. It actually walks you through the entire process and gives you the information that you need to make your own choices about your mic setup or your instrument setup. It has 3 integrated preamp models, which is unheard of in a $200 interface. You've broken down, but it won't break me. I'm here for you. I feel for you, darling. You've broken down, but it won't break me. I'm here for you. I feel for you, darling. You've broken down, but it won't break me. I'm here for you. I feel for you, darling. And it also has a built-in denoiser, compressor, and input playback mix. So if you're using it for podcasting, streaming, or doing voiceover work, it'll be a perfect option for you as well. So let's dive right into this. Okay, so it will probably not come as any surprise that I film my videos out of order. So at this point, I have not even opened the box. I haven't even tried out the unit. So let's go ahead and unbox this little guy and see what's inside. And yeah, this is a tiny little box for an interface. This is a really small interface, but you know, it's not about the size. It's about the functionality. So we got a couple of Lewitt stickers. We've got some info on how to register the interface, regulatory information, and control center. So I'll remember that for later. Download the control center software. Let's pull this guy out of here. Oh, this is just the cables. So for cables, we've got USB-C to USB-C, nice sturdy cable with cable wraps. And yes, I love it when they include USB-C to USB-A adapters. That's awesome. So nice cable. And then the interface itself, and I'm assuming there's nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing else actually in the box. So let's open this guy up. And wow, this thing is really thin. I wasn't expecting it to be this thin. I mean, look how thin that is. I'm assuming this is where all the touch controls are, or the, yeah, here's where the control panel is. And then probably all the goodies are up here. So that's extremely small form factor. Oh yeah, that'll never be clean again in my house with dogs. So it looks like we've got, what is this, volume control? There's no knob. Okay, that's interesting. So this is probably like a touch control for volume. Seems like there's some sort of a button there. We've got mute, and I'm assuming these are probably all LEDs, so they're probably going to light up. So I'm not going to even try to bother figuring out what these are now. But let's take a look at the back. Your serial numbers on the back, and there's even a QR code for the quick start guide, so that's pretty handy. And then what are we working with here? We've got a single microphone input, a single instrument level input, phantom power. Thank goodness for putting it actually on the unit as a button and not something I have to control in the software. You got TRS, balanced speaker outputs, and you have 2 headphone jacks, one that is 1/8 inch or 3.5 millimeter, and one that is 1/4 inch, and then your USB power and signal. Obviously, this thing is so small, it's bus powered, so no external power required. So let's hook this up to a laptop and let's go through all of the features. Okay, so I've got this thing hooked up to my MacBook. I think the first thing we need to do is install the control center software. So I've just plugged it in over USB. I haven't done anything with it. It's going to ask me if I want to allow this to connect. I'll go ahead and do that. And here I'm just going to go to lewitt-audio.com/C2-guide. And let's download the Connect 2 Control Center. I'll download this for Mac OS. and I'll go ahead and just go through the installation process. Okay, yeah, so it looks like you can switch between your two different inputs here. So we got mic level, and then we've got our instrument level, and you can just switch between those. If I want to adjust my mic preamp level, I can do that right here, or I can do it from the Connect 2 itself. So I can just do something like that. And this thing is, it kind of reminds me of the old, the original iPods, where it's got this little sort of touch wheel. I can't say that it's like super intuitive. It's not like super, I wish the sensitivity was maybe a little better, but it's not bad. It works. Go to the instrument level input. Same thing. This is where you can adjust your instrument level input. And again, you can do this in the app if you prefer. Okay, so the mute button, is that muting that? Okay, yeah, that mutes the device that you're using or the input that you're using. So if I want to mute the guitar, but then switch over to mic and unmute the mic, I can do that. Okay, that's cool. And then if I click on the speaker icon, this is going to adjust the speaker level. Click headphones. Now I can adjust the headphone level. And this is probably the input and playback balance. So what this does is it's a blend between your computer audio and your direct signal. So if you want to monitor with 0 latency, you can put this on direct here. And then you're just going to, when you're recording with a microphone, you're going to hear, or with a guitar, you're going to hear the direct signal. Although with guitar, you probably don't want to use that. So this will cut back on any latency that you might be having. But if you're like mixing and stuff and you just want to hear the computer audio, you can scroll that over to the right side. So that's going to be your like mix balance between input and playback. Now, one thing that I find really interesting on this unit is if you click this middle button, it'll bring up Auto Setup Measurement Active. I'm assuming that's some sort of like auto level where you sing into the mic or speak into the mic and it automatically sets the level for you. So that's really cool if that's what that does. I had to look this one up in the manual. This is a programmable custom button. So I'm assuming you can sort of program whatever feature you want to that. Before I actually try to set up a mic and work with this, let's go through some of the features in the control center. So you can set your sample rate up here. It goes up to 96K. Obviously your mic and instrument level gain. You've got high pass filters. So this will remove low frequencies. You got your phantom power for condenser mics. And this is clip guard. And so this will prevent your input from distorting. I'm assuming this is some sort of like a soft clip limiter. And then it looks like there are 3 modes for each channel: clean, warm, and vivid. So it's going to change the sound of the preamp. There's a denoiser for streaming. Oh, that's cool. I don't have a mic hooked up yet, so it's not going to do much of anything. I'll have to come back to that later. And then there's a compressor. Okay, that's cool. It's just like gives you a consistent level, louder signal, and finished sound. Cool. Now, one of the other really cool features of this interface is the auto setup. So if you're a complete newbie to this sort of thing, you can just follow the directions in the auto setup and it'll set up everything for you. And so you just click the auto setup button, choose what type of microphone you're using, or if you're recording with a guitar. Here it's asking me if I want to use a condenser mic or a dynamic mic. I'm using a condenser mic, so I'll make sure that phantom power is turned on. And then it asks, do you want to use a low cut filter or a high pass filter? You've got it all, but you can't break free. Just sleep right there in your frozen state. You've broken down, but it... And then it'll give you options for your preamps. For me, I think I want the smooth high end. And this walks you through the process of, do you want the compressor on or do you want the compressor off? And then whether you want the denoise on or off as well. If you choose yes to the denoise option, you'll be prompted to start the process of capturing the ambient noise in the room. And then it'll ask you whether you want clip guard on or off for studio vocals. As long as you've got your input level set up correctly, I usually would recommend against using a limiter. So again, if you know nothing about recording and this is like your first time recording, this is a really helpful tool to get you started. And it also sort of educates you on the signal chain, on the most basic things that are in a signal chain: the preamp, obviously the mic, but the preamp type, phantom power, filters, compressors, limiters, denoisers. So it walks you through that process of setting up your mic. So again, this is a godsend for beginners who are brand new to making their own recordings. If you go into the Control Center settings, this will allow you to set up what you want to do with the custom button. By default, this just shows the Control Center app, which can be very useful, but you could also set it to something like switching the mic preamp styles. And so now when I press this custom button, I can switch between the 3 preamp styles. So right now I'm on clean, here is warm, and now I'm on vivid. So it's a really cool feature that can be programmed to most of the functions within the Lewitt Control Center. Okay, so let's do some sound tests and let's see what all of these options do, the auto gain and all the preamp models, the denoiser and the compressor. For all of these examples, I'm going to be using the brand new Lewitt Ray microphone, and I will have a dedicated review on this mic coming very shortly. Another thing I was just really impressed by is, again, how small the Connect 2 is. I can just put it on like a phone stand or an iPad stand, and so if you're like trying to record your own vocals and you don't have a full studio setup, this is a really easy way to do that. Okay, so the next feature I want to try out is the auto gain function. Now, my understanding is that you have to press the auto gain button, press the input that you want to use. So in my case, it's the microphone, and then you press the auto gain button again, and then you sing a bit or play a bit, and you'll see the thing sort of slowly make its way around the wheel. Once it's made its way around the wheel, it'll set up a custom preamp gain setting for your instrument. So no more guessing what your input level needs to be, especially if you're like new to recording. It's not always obvious like what your standardized input level should be. So let's give this a shot. I'm just going to hit the auto gain button, hit the microphone, and then hit the auto gain button again. You've got it all, but you can't break free. Just sleep right there in your frozen state. You've broken down. Okay, so it looks like it's set this thing up for me. So yeah, that's the volume level they're saying is best for my voice. Now there is a little bit of like AC noise right now because I've got the AC on full blast because I live in Florida. So let's try out this denoise feature. I don't know that the denoise feature is probably great for sung vocals, but it could be good for spoken word. So let's go ahead and try that out. Yeah, and all you do with that one is you just stay really quiet once you run the denoiser, and it gets rid of all of the background noise. Okay, so I've got the denoiser on. What I'm going to do at this point, and I know that normally you wouldn't use the denoiser on sung vocals. It's something you'd normally use for spoken word, but I want to try out all of the features. So I'm going to do a sung example with the denoiser, with the compressor in. I'm going to start with the clean preamp, and then I'm going to move to the warm and vivid preamps so we can hear what the difference is between these different preamp models. You've got it all, but you can't break free. Just sleep right there in your frozen state. You've broken down, but it won't break me. I'm here for you. I feel for you, darling. When we tear down all these walls, just stay right here by my side. I'm never gonna let you fall. I'm never gonna let you fade away. Ooh, baby, never gonna let you fade away. Cool, so that's the clean preamp. Let's try out the warm preamp next. You've got it all, but you can't break free. Just sleep right there in your frozen state. You've broken down, but it won't break me. I'm here for you. I feel for you, darling. When we tear down all these walls, just stay right here by my side. I'm never gonna let you fall. I'm never gonna let you fade away. Ooh, baby,
never gonna let you fade away. Cool, that's the warm preamp. Next, let's try out the vivid preamp. You've got it all, but you can't break free. Just sleep right there in your frozen state. You've broken down, but it won't break me. I'm here for you. I feel for you, darling. When we tear down all these walls, just stay right here by my side. I'm never gonna let you fall. I'm never gonna let you fade away. Ooh, baby, never gonna let you fade away. Cool, so those are all three of the preamp models. At least with this particular microphone, I think the clean and warm preamp models sound best on my voice. The Vivid is a bit too bright for my taste, but that could totally work for acoustic guitar or some other acoustic instrument. And the mic matters too. If you're using a much warmer mic or a dynamic mic or a ribbon mic, the Vivid preamp might breathe some new life into those types of microphones. Overall, I think this is a really great product. It's extremely affordable at only $199 USD. It gives you everything you need to make your own home recordings and doesn't give you anything that is confusing. It doesn't give you anything that you don't need. It's very easy to set up and it's very easy to use for beginners. And I love that the entire bottom of this thing is just a big rubber pad, so it won't slip around on your desk when you set it down, because it is a very light interface and it has a very small form factor, so this thing should stick to your desk just fine. The preamps sound great, the denoiser is pretty transparent, and the input compressor I probably wouldn't use on sung vocals, but if you're doing, again, podcasting, streaming, narration, voiceover work, it's a great option to have that compression baked into your recording. Now, the only gripe I really have with this unit is I don't really like the touch control for the gain and volume levels. The buttons work fine, I have no problem there, but I really wish there was like a real knob or a jog wheel here to control volume and gain, but I totally get it. It keeps the price down. If you were to add in a moving part for just that one thing, it would probably drive up the price and change the design significantly. So overall, I have a very positive impression of the Connect 2. It's a great sounding little interface for home studio enthusiasts, and it has some pretty impressive features packed into it that other audio interfaces in the same price range just don't have. If you want to check out the Connect 2 for yourself, I'll leave some links in the video description below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. As always, thank you so much for the support, and thanks for watching.